What's going on, beautiful people? It is I, your flying locomotive, and faster than a speeding bullet SuperCliff, coming at you live with a brand new video. And for today's majestic and fantastic video, we'll be starking it up with a new series. Did you guys see what I did there? I'm funny. Laugh my jokes, please. We'll be covering Gerry Duggan's The Invincible Iron Man, issue number 1. But before we jump into everything that is Iron Man in corporate America, if you are new to the channel, then smash that like and subscribe button. That way you guys never miss out on anything that happens on the Majestic channel. And because you managed to cross over 1,000 subs, let's raise the bar and go full on Super Saiyan as we try to get 40 more subs before the end of 2022. So yeah, don't be rude. It's free, folks. It's the price of admission. Don't be a nerd. Show some class. Hit that subscribe button. Thus, without further ado, let's dive into another breathtaking adventure with the Invincible Iron Man, issue number 1. Our story starts off with the one and only Tony Stark, genius billionaire playboy philanthropist. You know, that guy with the goatee? Well, currently our hero is having some writer's block because he's in the process of writing his new memoir, but he doesn't know where to start. And basically, this is how writer Gerry Duggan sort of goes through all the top hits that encompass Tony's life. Him getting captured and building his first Iron Man suit, Tony partying throughout the years, getting insanely drunk, being a part of the Avengers, having multiple homes across the country, including Malibu, Avengers Mansion, and heck, Tony's at an age now where he's mentoring young heroes like RiriWilliams. He's also currently at the moment very, very poor. I think it's safe to say that StarkIndustries has been through some shit, but nonetheless, whether he's poor or rich, Tony continues to do what he does best. That being, of course, tinkering. However, while Tony is doing what he's doing, one of the suit's arc reactors explodes, causing destruction throughout his entire building. And though Tony was able to survive, the same cannot be said for everyone else, including one of his neighbors. Afterwards, we check in with Tony at the hospital, where upon waking up, the Iron Avenger is greeted by Captain America, Rhodey, and Riri. And after making sure that their friend is doing okay and whatnot, Tony reveals that someone must have corrupted one of his suits, which is clearly what caused the explosion to happen, meaning that someone is after Tony Stark. Now, whether or not this is the case, Rhodey suggests to Tony that he should come live with him, because the fact that Tony, due to his financial situation, was living in a residential area, not only did it leave Tony vulnerable to attack, but it also caused those living in his building to be affected, including the death of his neighbor, Marielle Marcus. But of course, as the case is with Tony, he rejects their help. A few days later, after Tony pays for his neighbor's funeral, he goes to visit his attorney, that being, of course, Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk. Now, Tony right now is in the mindset of doing everything himself. He's willing to pay for everyone's damages from the explosions, and he's just willing to do basically everything that is needed. However, upon snapping at Jen during their meeting, it's clear that the guilt and the unknown factor of there being someone who's after Tony is really getting to him. For Tony, it just seems like everything he's doing isn't stable. To him, it feels like he doesn't have any control. And whenever that is the case, Tony does what he needs to do to feel better. He tinkers. Thus, it's here where we pick up with Tony refitting an old cab depot. Because given that, he doesn't have a house anymore, this is the next best thing. Also, the place isn't residential. And so after licking his wounds, Tony manages to rebuild his Mark 70 suit, to which he then proceeds to take it out for a test drive. Driving the top down. And by the way, can we just take a moment and drool over the amazing artwork by Juan Frigeri? Holy crap, dude. Your work is crisp and detailed. I'm a fan. However, during his test drive, Iron Man is then attacked by an unknown adversary. All we know is that the person is also wearing an Iron Man type of suit, though one that is more bulky. And it's here where the mysterious villain introduces himself as the Messenger. And from there, the two titans fight. But luckily, after saving a helicopter from destruction, Iron Man then uses his suit's non-lethal rounds against his opponent, thus immediately downing the baddie to the ground. And after apprehending the Messenger, it's revealed that who's ever behind the assassination against Tony isn't even here. The person who's actually after Tony is only here remotely via someone they captured in order to fly the suit. Basically, the bad guy used an innocent person to kill Tony Stark. Now, after the man's suit explodes, Tony rescues the guy and brings him to the hospital. But it's after that where Tony starts to feel like shit. Everything in his life is, it's just falling apart. His home, his company, his livelihood. And so he does the next best thing. Tony Stark gets drunk. And that, folks, was the end of the Invincible Iron Man, issue number 1. And thank you guys for checking out my video, as it truly, truly means the world to me. So I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. Full disclosure, when it comes to comics, I'm not the biggest Iron Man fan. By no means do I hate the character at all. It's just via his comics, I've never, resonated with his stories. I don't know why, but they've always felt the same to me. Bad guy has tech similar to Tony. Tony tries to do everything himself through witty commentary, talks about his past dealings with alcoholism, and boom, the Earth is saved. However, about a few months ago, I started reading Christopher Cantwell's Iron Man run, and holy crap on a crapstick, that series was dope. Therefore, given that I was already on Iron Man high, and I'm a fan of Gerry Duggan to begin with, you can bet your bottom dollar that I was going to check out this series. And after reading it, I gotta say, although I'm still geeking hardcore over Cantwell's work, the first issue does its job. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been hooked. However, I think one of the reasons why I'm not super down for this, more so than I was for Cantwell, is because it feels very similar to Cantwell's work. There's no massive upshift to the status quo. There wasn't some Donny Cates insane Hulk shift following Al Ewing's run. There wasn't some bullshit Bendis-esque revamp. Bendis is coming. Instead, this is just, hey, it's a first issue. Let's have some fun with Tony. Let's tell a new story. And that's the thing. Despite it being a different writer, it didn't feel different. Like, it legitimately felt like the continuation of Cantwell's story. And so on the positive side, fuck yeah, because Cantwell's work was fantastic. But given this is only the first issue, I haven't been giving enough to compare it with. I haven't yet felt the Dugganisms, if you will, at full effect. And sure, I can understand that, what I'm saying might sound like I didn't enjoy the issue, but that's not the case. I really liked it. The issue is essentially a testament that Gerry Duggan is playing along with his fellow creators. He's not just going to nuke the playing field because, Iron Man is his now. He's treating Cantwell's work with respect. Yet at the same time, he's still forwarding his work. Duggan is still building up the story that he wants to tell. So basically, fuck yeah. For this is a perfect example on how to continue a character's tenure without having to, do something drastic, without having to make your mark so fucking obvious. And thus, I'm excited for more. I'm curious to find out, who this messenger villain is, what's their deal, and in general, the story that Gerry Duggan is forging in the fires of Mount Doom. By the way, if Tony ever built a Sauron suit, I'd be so down for that. But yeah, overall great stuff. So yeah, as always, I'm your majestic sayer over at SuperCliff, and if you guys are new to the channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button. And also the notification bell so that you'll never miss out on an upload, and so that you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics happening in the comic book world. Now tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on this issue? Are you guys excited for issue number 2? Let me know down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace. Giggity goo.